Welcome, my friends, to another episode of Listening Presence. We live in an age where reactivity has become systemic. Psychology shows us why. The nervous system cannot always distinguish between physical danger and social threat. The amygdala is the primitive part of the brain, and it acts like a smoke detector. It fires instantly, flooding the body with adrenaline before the rational brain has time to respond. When our identity is tied to beliefs, opinions, or worldviews, even a simple conversation can feel like an attack on the self. And this is why people lash out, defend, collapse, or even become violent. Not because they are necessarily bad, but because their nervous systems is running an ancient survival program. Modern media amplifies this reflex. It keeps people on high alert and a rewarding outrage. But there is another way. Non-reactive intelligence teaches us to pause, breathe, and allow presence to lead. In doing so, we retrain the nervous system, dissolve the grip of identity, and discover the invincible calm that cannot be shaken. We live in a time when reactivity is everywhere. People defending their identities, clinging to their cherished opinions, growing divided and exhausted. But the truth is, reactivity isn't who we are. It's just an old imprint in the nervous system, a survival reflex that can be unlearned. Just the other day, I was in the park playing my guitar, and a woman came over to talk with me. She had just finished reading Non-Reactive Intelligence and was very excited about the information. And she was curious about my process, even how I worked with AI to write the book. She was open, intrigued, and full of questions. She really wanted to know and understand more deeply. But another woman nearby walked over and began to listen in, and she overheard our conversation. Instead of simply walking away, the second woman became triggered, fearful, and noticeably reactive. She interrupted our conversation, voicing her anger, disappointment, and suspicion about AI. She didn't want to understand. She only wanted to inject fear into the space. I simply said, many people feel that way because they don't understand, and that's okay. After that, she slumped away. And the first woman and I continued our conversation. To me, the contrast was striking. One person, open and curious, the other compelled by fear to disturb the peace of others. And this is a snapshot of the reality of our world now. You must understand Reactivity is contagious. It stirs division and unrest. It is a primitive response. But presence is stronger. When we stay calm, respectful, and grounded, fear loses its grip. And this is why I wrote The Emptying Path and Non-Reactive Intelligence. They are guides for undoing the imprints of installed trauma and conditioned reactivity, and discovering what I call the art of invincible presence. But no one has to walk this path alone. That's why we are beginning NRI Presence Circles, small groups where we practice listening, pausing, and rewiring the nervous system together. So, my friends, let this be the invitation. If you feel the weight of reactivity in yourself or in the world around you, begin, read, practice, and join a presence circle or start your own. Because when we learn to stand in calm presence without reactivity, we not only heal ourselves, we become the living medicine for a divided world. Peace be with you.
Silence called me home to the place I've always known, where the ache becomes the sky and the tears no longer need to cry. No longer bound by longing, no voice I need to own. Just this path before me, where silence calls me home. Silence calls me home to the place I've always known, where the ache becomes the sky and the tears no longer need to cry. Lay down what you